Hello and welcome. So today I have for you 4 fragrances. You know, guys, I test and I try fragrances all day, every day. Even on the days where I'm not necessarily testing a new perfume for, to come and share it with you on the channel, I'm always trying fragrances. And every so often I encounter a fragrance that just takes my breath away at first sniff. Not only that I'm obsessed with it, but that it truly takes my breath away. It's something very, very special. It doesn't even have to be a very unique or groundbreaking fragrance, but there's something about it that I just can't explain. Does that ever happen to you? Has that happened to you recently? Well, today I have for you 4 fragrances, and the funny thing is that behind each fragrance, I have a story for you because it's not like I decided from the beginning that I was going to pick them up and that was it. And no. There's a story behind each. But anyway, before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I am totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go, fam. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and, of course, share each fragrance, but I will also be giving you my detailed review because I have had the opportunity to use each fragrance several times, and therefore I can share with you everything that I have found so far. So this first fragrance is from the House of Bo, and this is Ave Maria. Now, I'm sure that you've seen reviews, you're aware that the House of Bo launched, I would say maybe 2 to 3 months ago, Ave Maria, and it was all over Instagram. It was extremely hyped, and I had decided not necessarily that I wasn't going to pick it up, but that I was going to take my time. I absolutely love the House of Bo. I mean, who doesn't? Their fragrances are exceptional. I own another 5 bottles from the House of Bo. That should tell you how much I enjoy the DNA of that fragrance house. And I find their fragrances to be stellarly smooth and elegant and sophisticated. You know, it's like they don't have to try too hard to be absolutely exceptional. And this one is no exception to that rule. So let me tell you, so I decided that no, I was not going to pick it up immediately. I was going to get myself a sample or a decant. I was going to wait, because to me, the best fragrance that they have is Casablanca. And I just didn't understand how this fragrance could top Casablanca, not because of anything, but because Casablanca is just unbelievable. So how could you top that? But again, I was wrong. So I did get myself a small decant. And I have to tell you guys that from the first sniff, I was just taken away. This fragrance is a masterpiece. This is truly an exceptional fragrance. So all the hype was true, was real, was worthy, and actually there should have been even more hype. This is a fragrance that should be ongoing hyped. I did not receive this fragrance in PR. I have never received PR from the House of Bo. I have no relationship with the House of Bo, but truly, this is a fragrance that will take your breath away. And when it comes to the seasons of spring and summer, I think that this is absolute perfection. Now, Ave Maria is an exquisitely beautiful fragrance that was launched, as I said before, in 2025, and that I consider to be truly a feminine fragrance. No, I cannot imagine a gentleman wearing this fragrance, but like I tell you all the time, please wear whatever you want because it's all about you being happy and being able to express yourself with whatever you wear. But for me, this fragrance is truly a feminine fragrance. It has no oud and no musk. It's a very non-offensive, very smooth, very elegant kind of fragrance. The feel of this fragrance is very angelic. It's very like fairy-like. There's something so magical about the scent. To me, this is a fragrance that is specifically for the seasons of spring and summer. I can't imagine pulling it during the fall or the winter, but as soon as we are approaching the spring season, I know that this is a fragrance that I will pull continuously. I have not tried layering with it, but I have the feeling that it's even appropriate for layering with certain scent profiles. Not all, but truly, this is a fragrance that needs absolutely no help because the scent itself is just so beautiful. There is something, again, so angelic. The feel is just so smooth. It's almost like you're flowing with life and just allowing things to just fall as they may, and everything is well, and you just give grace to everything. That's the feel of this fragrance. It's a very beautiful and very modern take on what I consider to be a very gardenia-centric fragrance. The other thing that has me quite impressed about this fragrance is that although it is very smooth, it does get me a full day wear with really without having to overspray. It's not a beast mode fragrance on my skin whatsoever, but it's also not a weak or faint fragrance. As I said before, it does get me a full day with a very strong projection during the first 90 minutes, and then after that it does become a skin scent. But it is a skin scent that will allow you to smell and sniff yourself all throughout the day. The sillage in this fragrance is above moderate, and it is definitely a high compliment getter. This is not a one compliment type of fragrance, but one that will definitely get you multiple compliments. And it is a fragrance that even when you wear it, let's say that you wear it for 2 days in a row, even on your second day after wearing it for an entire day, you will still be amazed and under the effect of the magic of this fragrance, because it is truly very special. So this is a fragrance that does open indeed very much with the note of gardenia. The gardenia here is very dominant, so therefore that is a floral that you must enjoy in order to really appreciate the beauty of this fragrance. I do pick up on the neroli, but again, to my nose, the neroli is not the star or very dominant in any way. It's truly always about the gardenia. And in addition to the gardenia, I do pick up on a note that I'm not really understanding. It's not really even a note. It's more like a tonality, and it may be coming from that note of wine or other notes that they have not disclosed. But I have to tell you that this fragrance is absolutely exquisite. And the olfactory journey, in case you're wondering because of how I just described it, it's not a linear olfactory journey, but it is not one that's going to be very complicated, at least not to my nose. It doesn't like open in one way and then midway it becomes a totally different scent, and then at the dry down it's a totally different scent like you find in other fragrances. And I actually appreciate that because I don't want every fragrance to give me the same olfactory experience. But this one, what I will tell you, is extremely magical and a fragrance worthy to be on your wish list. This is one that you definitely want to at least try. And if you are into gardenia, well, this is a must for you. Just go ahead and add it to cart, because I am telling you, this is a must. So this next fragrance is from day 3, and it is called Aylan, and I hope that I did pronounce it correctly. So Aylan was so kindly sent to me by the day 3 team, and if you're watching, thank you so much for getting me this incredible fragrance. And guys, I have not had this fragrance, in my collection for a couple of weeks. It's been with me for a minute, and it's not that I put it aside or anything. It's just that when I first sniffed it, I knew that it was a vanilla-centric fragrance, but I was not ready for the level of mastery behind this vanilla fragrance. I mean, I had not heard of day 3 until they reached out to me. And then, of course, you know how I am. I did all my research. But this is an exceptionally beautiful vanilla fragrance. This is not your regular vanilla fragrance. This is a very rich and robust, without being dense or cloying, vanilla fragrance. This is not your vanilla extract kind of fragrance. This is not your regular sweet vanilla fragrance. No, this is a very refined and sophisticated vanilla fragrance, reminiscent to my nose of the vanilla that we get from Guerlain. Not specifically any fragrance, because this is not the same as any other fragrance that I have in my collection, but it is definitely along the lines of a Guerlain vanilla because of the level of refinement and sophistication that you get from the scent. This is a fragrance that, while being robust, has a ton of character. I think that the note of Bulgarian rose and also the cashmere that you find in here play a pivotal role in bringing along that elegance that I am telling you you're going to get from the fragrance. Now, when I say elegance, am I saying that this fragrance is dated? No, this is not a dated fragrance at all. What this is, it's an exceptionally done vanilla-centric fragrance. Now, as you can tell from the notes, Aylan does have oud, but the oud, again, is very, very smooth. It has not a touch of being a barnyard oud or being obnoxious or a bit much or not a wearable or manageable oud. It's like a level 2 oud, and at that it is very, very smooth. I dare say that you will only pick up on the oud if you have quite a bit of experience and your nose is quite in tune with the accord of oud and all of the tonalities that can come from it. This is a fragrance that I think is suited for all ages and for any season of the year. This fragrance, to my nose, opens spicy. But the spicy, curiously enough, is not a warm spicy to my nose, but it's not a fresh spicy. It's like a very nicely balanced, like warm and fresh. I tell you, the experience of sniffing, wearing, trying this fragrance is just so memorable. Again, I have tried so many vanilla fragrances, and you guys know that. But this one, as soon as I sniffed it, I told myself, wow, there is something very, very special about this fragrance. And I'm going to be honest, because I've tried so many vanilla fragrances, I thought, I've got to try this properly, because there's got to be another vanilla that it reminds me of. It's got to be, not that it was a dupe of any way. I mean, I knew that this was a standalone fragrance. This is a standalone niche house that really does not, work on inspired by or anything like that. But, I did think that the vanilla was done so beautifully and in such a peculiar way that I wanted to have the opportunity to compare it to other vanilla-centric fragrances in my collection. And I did. And I am telling you that the one that it was most in line with was truly a vanilla-centric fragrance from Guerlain. In addition to that oud and that spiciness, you are going to get, as I said before, that Bulgarian rose. And this is not a rose-centric fragrance. This is really more about the vanilla. But again, the Cashmeran and the Bulgarian rose do play a very key role. And I only picked them up like midway in the olfactory journey, but then they continue with me, to the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance. But at no point did I ever consider that the rose was a dominant note, because to me, it's really all about the vanilla. As far as performance, it is performing beautifully because it does give me a full day wear without me having to overspray. It has a very strong projection during the first 2 hours, and it does have a moderate sillage. I have not received any compliments to date with this fragrance, but this is one that I just love to sniff on myself. And it is a fragrance that wears beautifully and that you can layer with other fragrances in your collection. Specifically, I would recommend like with florals or with a very peculiar or a very note-centric kind of fragrance. So if you have a fragrance that has quite a bit of iris and the iris comes through very clear, layering with this one would work beautifully. I would not recommend layering with another rose fragrance because, again, the Bulgarian rose does play a very key role here, at least to my nose. All in all, I am telling you, if you have not tried Aylan, this is a vanilla that you must try. And if you have tried it, can you please let us know your thoughts? I am so very impressed with this fragrance that I have been looking into the other fragrances from day 3 because I'm going to have to try them. I think that the next one that I'm going to look into is one that focuses on the note. It's like an amber-based fragrance, and that one sounds really interesting, so I may have to try it. But all in all, guys, this is an exceptional vanilla fragrance that really has left me breathless from the beginning. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is the latest from Goldfield and Banks, and this one is Pacific Rock Flower. What can I say? I have no words except to say exceptional. This has got to be my favorite Goldfield and Banks fragrance to date. This is absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. And when I tell you that this is incredible, specifically for the spring and summer seasons, but you can get away with using it for the fall. But let me tell you, so I did share with you during a Chatty Scent Corner not too long ago that this one was being launched and that I was very excited about it. And then after I shared that with you, it was time for me to decide which fragrances I was going to pick up and which ones I was just going to put on my wish list. And for a minute, I thought about not picking this one up. Not because of anything, but because I looked at the notes and I thought, you know what? I have other fragrances with that lemon and salt kind of opening combination and other, what I would consider to be potential accords of the fragrance. So I'm just going to wait. Well, I am so glad that I did not wait, because wow, this is so worth it. I'm telling you, this is the best one, the best one from their entire portfolio of fragrances, of the ones that I've sniffed so far. And I've sniffed quite a number of them, but this one, this is just unbelievable. But let's talk more about it. As the name says it, it truly is a fragrance that focuses on the florals. And after the florals, I do get the woody notes. But the beauty of this fragrance, in my opinion, where the magic starts and it captures you and doesn't let you go, is in the opening. Because the opening of this fragrance is so fresh and beautiful. And it's very like lemon dominant, but I also get the sea salt. The sea salt is very clear to my nose. Now, is this a fragrance that I would only recommend for you to wear like on a beach day or anything like that? No, because there is something that happens in the olfactory journey of this fragrance that really makes it kind of like not so much a freshie anymore, but more of like a floral woody fragrance, at least to my nose. But at that, it's not one of these floral woody fragrances that you're going to limit to the spring or to the fall or any specific season. This is not one that I would pull all throughout the year either, but it is definitely like a spring, summer, and fall kind of fragrance, but perfection for the spring and summer for sure. Here, there is some mimosa, there is some tuberose and other florals, but the mimosa and the tuberose, and there is some peony here too, but to me, the peony comes across as faint and in the background. But it is always present. But those two other florals definitely play a huge role in the fragrance. But I also pick up on the woody notes, but all of that happens after that incredible opening. Now, the magic of this fragrance to me is that not only do you get that fresh opening, but typically when I get a fresh opening, the fresh opening stays in the opening. And if it does continue in the olfactory journey, it's not as present. But in this fragrance, that fresh opening is not going away. You're going to be getting that lemon and that sea salt and that freshness of the opening all throughout the olfactory journey, at the dry down, and throughout the wear of the fragrance. The other very, very relevant point when it comes to this fragrance that I want to share with you is that it does have a note of tea, and I love a good tea note fragrance. And here, despite all of that other stuff that's going on, because I told you about the florals, about the woodiness that I pick up, and about that opening that focuses on the lemon and the sea salt, I clearly pick up on that tea note all throughout the olfactory journey, at the dry down, and throughout the wear of the fragrance. This is not a linear fragrance by any means, but it is a fragrance that has been blended in such a way where it seems that every note has its role, and in the end, they all come together to act like a team to give you an exquisitely beautiful scent. This is truly an exceptional fragrance. I cannot imagine someone really not enjoying it. It is very much a unisex fragrance, so for some this may lean to the masculine side. To me, this does not lean to the masculine side whatsoever, or to the feminine side. This is truly a unisex fragrance that I can see just about anybody wearing, and by the way, of any age, for any occasion, day or night. And I personally plan to pull it during the fall, the spring, and the summer season. There is no oud or no musk in this fragrance, and while you could make it like your signature scent for certain seasons of the year, this is not one that I would make my signature scent because it is so special. I want to be able to pull it when I'm in the mood for it and when I really want to experience the magic that I described to you. On my skin, it is giving me a full day wear, but it is not a beast mode in any way. So it's not giving me over 8 hours, and that's without overspraying, which I'm fine with. It does have a strong projection during, I would say, a little bit over the first 2 hours, and then it does have a moderate sillage, but one that will get you compliments. Is it going to leave a long trail behind you? Not on my skin and not to my experience, but it is a fragrance that if people approach you or they're coming close to you, they are going to sniff it. And by the time they really make it to you, they will be asking you what you're wearing. All in all, to me, this is an exceptionally beautiful fragrance that I am truly so happy that I picked it up. And it's not that I ever considered not trying it at least, but I am so glad that I picked up the full bottle and early enough in the seasons to where I can just wear it and really, really enjoy it, because it really is extremely exceptional. The last fragrance that I have for you today, out of these 4 incredible fragrances that I am telling you, you need to try them, pick them up, whatever it is that you want to do, but please do not miss out on these 4 fragrances. And you guys know that I rarely tell you to not miss out, because it's like, what is there to miss? Well, I am telling you that these are 4 that I feel that very, very, very strongly about, that I really think that you need to make an effort to at least try. So this next one is the latest from Carner, Barcelona. Guys, a masterpiece. A masterpiece. This is not just summer in a bottle. This is truly the beach in a bottle. I don't know how they did it, what they did, but they have captured it to perfection. This one is La Playa. Now, La Playa in English would be, well, because La Playa in Spanish would be in English, the beach. This fragrance is truly the beach in a bottle. You get everything from the beach in this bottle, but at that, there is an elegance and a sophistication to the scent that makes it a versatile fragrance that you can pull off for any occasion, day or night, during the, I would say, spring and summer seasons exclusively. This is not a fragrance that I would ever pull for like the fall season or the winter season. Now, if you're traveling to a warm location, then this is definitely the fragrance that you want to bring with you. Is this exclusive to like a beach resort or a beach situation? No, not really. Just warm weather is what I think is required. But let's talk more about this fragrance. But before that, let me tell you the story behind this one. So the Carner Barcelona team had reached out to me and told me that, that they were going to send me this bottle. And, I waited for, a couple of weeks because I thought that the fragrance had already launched, but it had not launched. And then the fragrance launched and I still didn't receive it. So I reached out and I said, were they planning to send it? Because if they were not planning to send it, I knew that I wanted this fragrance, right? Or at least to try it, right? And they did tell me that it would take a couple more weeks. Well, Mother's Day was approaching and my daughter asked me what I wanted for Mother's Day. So I told her that this is what I wanted and she ordered it for me and gave it to me for Mother's Day. And I can't tell you how thankful I am. And if you're watching, Megan, thank you so much for getting me this fragrance for Mother's Day, because this is a masterpiece. This has trumped all of the other fragrances in my collection that I tell you are like beach mode, summer in a bottle fragrances. This is at the top of my list, okay? But let's talk more about it. So La Playa, as I said, was just launched recently. And let me tell you, the beauty of this fragrance, guys, is the coconut milk and the pistachio. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I saw the notes of coconut milk and pistachio, I said, here we go, yet another fragrance that's going to give me kind of like the same vibe or the same kind of scent profile as so many others that I have in my collection, regardless of the type. But I don't know what they did here, but this is just beautiful. You are going to smell beautiful. To me, this is not a gourmand fragrance. It has gourmand notes to it, but this is not a gourmand fragrance. Again, this is an elegant and sophisticated masterpiece, perfection for the spring and summer seasons. You are going to find some lemon here, also some orange. So there is a citrusy opening to the fragrance, which at the same time is fresh. But it's not like a super fresh fragrance because there is some degree of focus on the florals and the other notes. It is a musk-based fragrance, and you have to love a good musk fragrance because this is truly a musk-based fragrance to the level of like a 3, which means that you are going to pick up on the musk, but the good news is that this musk is not animalic in any kind of way. It is a very smoothly done musk that balances out with all of the other notes involved. In addition to that, there's also some cardamom here and some tonka bean. I don't pick up much on the tonka bean because I don't pick up any caramelly quality to this fragrance, but I do pick up on the cardamom because there is a fresh, spicy kind of moment within the olfactory journey. But all in all, guys, at the dry down, what you're going to get is the beautiful scent of being dressed, like beautifully dressed for the summer and wearing this scent. Whether you're spending the day at the beach, whether you're going for a lunch or an early dinner or a late dinner at the beach, whether you're going to be sitting somewhere facing the ocean, this is just a beauty. And to me, it gives me a feel of almost being a bit like romantic. There is a romantic side to this that I absolutely love. It's like not nostalgic. It's like a very romantic, smooth feel. It is one that like will calm you down and will make you enjoy like a beautiful, beach day, just looking at the ocean and listening to the waves. That's what I get from this fragrance. I tell you, this is truly beach in the bottle. They couldn't have named it in a better way. And I don't know how they made it so photorealistic to actually put you in that mental space, because as soon as I spray this fragrance, that's what I get. It has a musk that is quite, present. As I said before, I want to make sure that you do know that. And I also think that this is best suited for just about any age. I don't think that there's really any age limitation. As far as performance, it does give me a full day wear, but it is not beast mode in any way. It is a fragrance that will get you a full day wear with a very strong projection, at least on my skin, only during the first, I would say 90 minutes, almost 90 minutes. And then after that, it does become a skin scent, but it is a fragrance that I can smell on myself all throughout the day. But all in all, guys, I have to tell you that I highly recommend that you get your nose on this fragrance. I want to know if you've tried this fragrance and you do not enjoy it. Please let us know why, because I'd be hard pressed to find someone who truly is not going to fall in love with this beautiful fragrance. Anyway, guys, let us know, have you tried La Playa, and your thoughts. All right, so those are the 4 fragrances that I wanted to share with you today. I just made it a point to come and just focus on those 4 because they are 4 fragrances that from all of the fragrances that I've tried recently, and you guys know that I've tried quite the number of new 2025 releases, and a lot of them have been quite successful, and some of them, have even become obsessions for me. But these 4 fragrances, there is just something so different and special about them. I can't put my finger on it. I just really want to start hearing your opinions about them, whether you pick it up, whether you get yourself a decant. I just really want to know what you have to say about them because, again, they are just so exceptionally beautiful. And to me, all 4 are masterpieces. So please let us know in the comment section if you've tried any and how you feel about them. But anyway, guys, thank you so much as always for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.